Hello, my incisive friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. We're going to dive into some pretty darn deep weeds right here. But I think when you look at the totality of this assertion I'm going to explore with you guys, I think you will find it, in the very least, very logical and fits so much of the UFO and phenomena characteristics and case history. So yesterday I put out this tweet that seemed to really resonate, and it was a deeply held thought I've had. And although I've had a bunch of different types of experiences, very vivid and personal, I know that I don't know. I can easily be completely tricked. So this is where I think is a good place to launch into this discussion. When you really look at the research and you really see how much is happening now with UAP every single day, more and more and more, not just being reported, but more craft, more fleets, more occurrences, more interaction. The UAP presence is so entrenched in our planet. Perhaps they're not from out there. They may be from a place that is the complete opposite of out there. They could be from behind the scenes, from a much more dynamic and surprising place than even being from Earth or our solar system or our universe. They could be from a very startling place, the Creator. And these craft are acting as curators, zookeepers, farmers for the Creator. Now, when you really think about this, it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. What phenomena or characteristics of these advanced intelligence operated craft, superior technology, what characteristics does this from the curator, from the creator, zookeeper, curation hypothesis explain? What stuff from UFO history, what unique characteristics? Let's just dive right in. The non communication and ignoring us certainly fits into this. They are, zookeepers don't spend the day hanging out with the animals in the cageless zoo. They're behind the scenes working the animals in the cageless zoo. See them in fleeting moments, but most often the zookeepers are all working and doing different things. This hypothesis would explain their interest in life, their interest in nukes, and in kids. A lot of people don't realize it's not just nukes that are repeat locations. 5 schools, by my count so far, have had up close, very close visitations. You know what else fits into this hypothesis? The suspiciously non-uniform appearance of all these different types of UFOs is a disguise. It's meant to try to trick us and make us believe it's all these different separate things, when in fact, it probably is a singular source. But the many different types hint that there's many from way out there and not a single source, primary source from inside. You know, this would also explain why over history UFOs appear like near future technology. Because if you had to go in and do patches and do zookeeping or curation, you would want whatever the zoo animals see to be comprehensible in the realm of understanding. So that's why near future technology. What else would be a hint that this hypothesis is true? Utilizing completely foreign physics, creating completely unknown in all of humanity phenomena. That really is a nice little hint that you're dealing with something meta, so to speak. A programmer. Some effects completely break very well known established laws that we know of. And that could be another indication of curation by an advanced creator. Now, the creator can't step into the game, digitize themselves, but they send in the craft. And in order to break our universal well-known laws in very powerful ways, is they may be part of the construct. If this hypothesis is true, there would be a lot of watching, observational rather than constant, influence. And that fits this model. Hiding all around us as opposed to coming from and always returning to space. That would be another hint you're in a zoo. Now, this is really interesting. Listen to this idea. There's a very strong belief in the community, and I certainly believe it as well, that the biologicals in most of these craft are created biologicals. If they can create biologicals, they can make us. And a little conceit in all this is creating biological systems is much more difficult than an identical mechanical one. Doing it organic takes art and flair, deep understandings of chemistry and innovation. If this hypothesis is true, we would expect a lot of disappearing and reappearing out of freaking nowhere. And of course, there's a bunch of causes for that, different types of modes of transportation. Of course, first I would go through all the different invisibilities. And if this is that kind of a ant farm, a zoo, then this would also explain why our universe is interactive. A universe doesn't have to be interactive. You can just be subject to the laws and, your influence doesn't have to, and your mind and your intention doesn't have to affect this reality. You would think, but it does. That's a little hint, too. If it is this hypothesis, then the truly infinite and completely unconfined randomness and nothing, none of those things could really exist in their pure form in a simulated reality. There'd have to be a bunch of tricks and cheats. It's a lot of stuff to chew on in this model. I think in the next video, I'm going to get into a lot more aspects of the farmer curator model, the creators sending curators in. And you'll see there's a bunch of really interesting stuff that emerges from that. And of course, I'm going to also share some ideas about the Rendlesham symbols and the symbols on the craft from Itsibune from 18, I think it was '02 or something like that. And it hit me when I was looking at them. They are very much like the pictograms I used to do as a kid. I couldn't do normal math the normal way. Because of my colorful Asperger's brain, I created my own mathematical system which dealt with circles and dots, and I could do almost any number in a very dense way. And so I think those symbols are numbers and sentences, basically, phrases, terms, words together. And I made some really cool observations looking at them. Anyway, what do you guys think about this startling and even more dramatic origin for phenomena, and what is that cause? Who is the wizard behind the curtain at Oz? What do you guys think?